Roaring engines rip the night, burning bright, yeah, no stop. Wheels screaming, spit that fire, dirt and gravel, they pop. Oil slick under the street lights, the shadows start to dance. Adrenaline like thunder, man, give me that last chance. Wednesday night, street fights, racing for the win. Broken steel and busted dreams, we wear it on our skin. Smell the fumes, taste the danger, hold tight to the wheel. This ain't no love song, baby, this is raw real. Crowds gather up like wolves, howling for that speed. Races, blood pumping fast, gasoline is all they need. Tracks alive like a monster, the dirt flies and bends. Ruthless turns, hard turns, savage till the night ends. Wednesday night, street fights, racing for the win. Broken steel and busted dreams, we wear it on our skin. Smell the fumes, taste the danger, hold tight to the wheel. This ain't no love song, baby, this is raw real. Underneath the moonlight, crowds roar so loud. Pride's in the throttle, not in faces of a crowd. A brotherhood of metal, sweat, gears that grind. Cross that line or get left behind. Cold air cuts the dawn, still our fires rage. Holding bruises like trophies, exhaling battle cage. The stands are empty now, but the ghosts they remain. This dirt track story sings forever in our veins. Wednesday night, street fights, racing for the win. Broken steel and busted dreams, we wear it on our skin. Smell the fumes, taste the danger, hold tight to the wheel. This ain't no love song, baby, this is raw real. This is raw real.
Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in as we get ready for another night of dirt track racing here with the Dirt Warrior Racing League. It is the Trinity here with the DWRL. It is the Trinity series where they are battling 3 nights a week now. Not only on Wednesday nights, that's where that theme song comes from, is our Wednesday night street fight series, but here on Fridays, now going to be in action here on Peacemaker Gaming, as well as we love to see these dirt street songs out there on the racetrack battling and beating and banging, elbows up, racing out there every single night of the week, and we're glad to have them in here for at least another show. Unfortunately, we couldn't get Wednesday in, and I'm not sure how long we're going to be able to squeeze in these Friday shows, but as long as we can, we're going to be here to be able to bring some amazing content to you, make some absolute noise as these drivers get ready to duke it out here. So tonight will be a little bit different. We will have some heat races here this evening where we'll see drivers go into our heat races. They'll get an opportunity to try to race their way into the show, and kind of just like we did with the Shamrock Shake a few weeks ago, there's going to be no B-mains, no consolation races. It's going to be nothing but putting yourself into the top spot here, trying to put yourself into the show through these heat races. Joseph says, hey, let's get happy, baby. Let's get happy, my boy. As he says, I'm still hot from Jacob Sexton last week. Shoo-wee! Shoo-wee! It wasn't even last week, brother. It was 2 nights ago. It was 2 nights ago that we saw these guys in action, duking it out, only on Wednesday night. So it wasn't too far ago, wasn't too long ago that we saw these guys battling out there on the racetrack. Is Johnny Nolan, Johnny coming out with that like on the stream. DWRL, the Dirt Warrior Racing League, coming in with that share on the broadcast. Chad coming in, showing the love as well. How are you, Mr. Pooterbo, coming in, showing the love with that heart reaction. Brad Hunt, Brad Racing coming in, showing the love with that like on the stream. And Justin Johnson, Justin coming in, showing the love as well with that thumbs up here on the live stream as we'll get these drivers out there onto the racetrack. Qualifying going to get underway. Drivers going to look to try to lay down some great lap times here, looking to try to put themselves into a solid spot to start this evening here at Williams Grove Speedway. We do see Michael Goodwin out there in the 31 ride, Scott Allen out there as well. We see Charles Davis out there on the racetrack. Here comes Jeremy Aikens, look like he's going to get done his qualifying attempt. There's that TNT Racing number 4 rider Cody Wright just getting finished his lap there. Is down across the line, the Budweiser number 27 ride going to jump up to the top of the charts here for Dale Herman Jr., but he's not going to stay there for very long, as Lon Franks will jump up and take that top spot away from him. Stifler back there in 9th. Jim Rivas there in position number 7. Jacob Stefanski back in position number 11 on the racetrack in his number 23. Stephen Barrow there in position number 18. Then we see Evan Stefanski. He's going to get done his lap time. We'll see where Evan jumps up. Looks like 24th there for Evan on the speedway. As man, oh man, qualifying quickly coming to a close here in this one, and right into the racing action. Heat race number 1 about to get underway. We got 11 drivers here potentially getting ready to see this green flag fly. And now, as we talked about, man, only the top 6 drivers will advance into this A main feature event. So 6 drivers will race their way into the show. Unfortunately, everybody else is going to be joining the fans in the stands here this evening. As Philip Sexton, Philip coming in, showing the love with that heart reaction. William Hargreaves coming in, showing the love as well with that like on the stream. Justin, Michael, Daughtry coming in as well, showing the love over there on Facebook with that thumbs up on the broadcast as well. I appreciate that, Justin. Coming in, showing the love there, dropping that thumbs up here on the stream as... Woo, baby! The action's just getting started, ladies and gentlemen, as Joseph Pratt says, laugh out loud. Sorry, you're right, Wednesday, laugh out loud. These bath salts got me zooted. I can imagine, Joe. I can imagine, brother. Them bath salts, they can mess you up in a quick hurry, as we're going to see, which car out there on the racetrack may get messed up in a quick hurry here today. As starting on the pole in heat race number 1, it is that 71H machine. It's the Malibu Electric Viv's Liquor Joyride Designs ride of William Hargreaves. Hargreaves in that top spot. To his outside, the 2 is Cameron Stefanski. Starting in position number 3 in the 101, it is the beautiful Tommy Gun Customs Sexton Paint and Body 101 ride of Jacob Sexton. To his outside in that 7 ride, that is Jeremy Aikens. Then we see Michael Goodwin, Cody Wright, David Gubert there in the 69 ride. Then we see Jackie Whaley back there in that 720, and bringing up the rear of the field is Morgan Downey. Downey back there in that 26 ride, as we'll get them ready to rock and roll one more time around before we see that green flag fly here this afternoon for our first heat race of the day. Oh, baby, this is going to be fun. This is going to be some great racing action, man. Now, I do believe these drivers are going to get a pretty long, 15 laps. 15 laps here around Williams Grove. It doesn't seem like it's a long time, but honestly, 15 laps around the groove is definitely going to make you, pretty tuckered out. It's a lot of laps. It's a lot of time that if you make a mistake early on, you can still rebound from it, trying to work yourself back inside the top 6. And with only 9 drivers out there getting ready to go to battle, you got some room. You got some mistakes that you can do and be able to still survive from it and keep yourself in a transfer spot. As here you go. Green flag quickly out into the air for William Hargreaves. Hargreaves out in front in that Dirt Panda Malibu Electric DWR number 71H ride, as he'll lead us down the back straightaway for the first time here this afternoon. Cameron Stefanski, Jeremy Aikens, and Jacob Sexton all right there in tow, trying to hunt him down. Is hooked up on the outside lane. That is that 4 rider Cody Wright. We'll jump into position number 5, and that's going to bring that 720 of Jackie Whaley right there with them. Whaley trying to stay in that 6th and final transfer spot, as look out the 26 of Morgan Downey getting a little bit sideways right there. Excuse me. Choking a little bit on my own spit here, ladies and gentlemen. We don't want to do that, as you do see David down low in that beautiful look at number 69 ride. He's still trying to figure out his way to get around that 720 ride, trying to clear him down that bottom lane. Jackie Whaley, though, just keeping that Grumpy's Garage 720 ride pinged up on the outside lane. That 304 Roots car just too strong there in the outside, and he is going to stay in position number 6. So David Goober going to have to try to figure out another way to get around him here this afternoon, as Michael Goodwin back there in the 8th position on the outside looking in here as Hargraves continues to lead the way. Cameron Stefanski right there in position number 2 in that 2 ride as the Steve's Lawn Care Sunrise Racing ride sits in that 2nd spot. It's Jacob Sexton now into 3rd as he's worked himself around Jeremy Aikens. Aikens in that beautiful CRS number 7 ride rolls there in that 4th spot with Cody Wright, the 4 ride right there behind the TNT Racing 5-6 graphics dirt car number 4 machine there in that 5th position. Jackie Whaley a little farther back here as the gap has kind of grown from that 5th place to 6th place driver here. You see that gap down the back straightaway, but he's got a little bit of a gap now between himself as Michael Goodwin has jumped up into position number 7. The 69 ride David back there into position number 8, try to keep that car pointing in the right direction. It does look like he's got a little right front damage there on that 69 ride. Unfortunately, he's on the outside of a transfer spot looking in here. Same with that 7 of Goodwin, same with that 26 of Dowdy, as Dowdy trying to race their way up here inside a transfer position here this afternoon. But Whaley holding on to that 6th and final transfer spot out there on the racetrack as the laps continue to click down in a quick hurry. You start to see Jacob Sexton putting a little pressure here on this 2 ride. Sexton looking to try to slide his way up into the 2nd spot on the racetrack, just rolling that inside lane to perfection out there on the racetrack, finding a lot of speed in that 101 machine and looking to try to get that Tommy Gun Customs ride up to the front of the field, maybe trying to put some pressure onto the back bumper of that 71H of William Hargreaves. As Hargreaves continues to lead the way, he's down at a corner number 4, almost door to door there across the line for the 101 and that 2 machine. That battle for second as Jackie Whaley just laid down the quickest lap time there last time around, the quickest lap of this heat race. So the 720 rider Jackie Whaley starting to come alive, starting to maybe get a little bit of a draft, a little bit of aerodynamics off the back bumper of that TNT Racing number 4 ride, and finding that extra little bit of speed, and now starting to put the pressure onto that 4 car, hoping to move himself out of that 6th position, not having himself on the hot seat out there on the Speedway as the laps continue to get clicked down in a quick hurry here. But you see, this is a very long race. 15 laps here at Williams Grove is a very long time. It really gives drivers an opportunity. If they run into problems, they can try to, jump back in there, try to roll back towards the front of the field, maybe play a little bit of that strategy game where you gotta, save a little tire early on. Second half, maybe start to push forward as we do see some contact, and the caution flag's gonna come around here as there you go. That's what maybe some of these drivers deeper in the field were waiting for, as Cameron Stefanski, William Hargraves, our 1st and 2nd place driver out there on the racetrack, looks like they're gonna come together, and unfortunately, oh man, that is going to bring out our first caution flag of the day. Hargraves out in front, down low. Looks like the 2 rider sends it in there a little bit too deep. Unfortunately, just going to drive in there. Can't get checked up quick enough. Slides into the back bumper there of that KC Speedworks Mountain Electric. Number 71 H-Ride spins him around the Steve's Lawn Care 2 car. He's sideways on the racetrack. Nowhere to go there for Jacob Sexton as he ends up getting some pretty heavy front end damage there, as well as he slams into the side of that 2 ride. Now watch Jeremy Aikens, the 4 car, they're all going to scoot down low and around him, and unfortunately, that's going to move Hargraves and Stefanski on the outside of a transfer spot looking in, as we'll get them all stacked up, racked up, ready to go back. The green flag racing out there on the Speedway is out in front, now leading this race. It's the Tommy Gun Customs, Cocky Fluid Consulting, Sexton Paint and Body, number 101 ride. It's Jacob Sexton out in front, leading the way. Here is Amy Stefanski, says, let's go Cam. Cheering on Cam out there on the Speedway, as unfortunately for Cam, he is now back in the 8th position. Gonna have to try to pick up a couple spots, try to work himself into the show here this afternoon. Is my boy Taylor Pratt. Taylor coming in, show the love over there on Facebook. Says Jacob Sexton making all the homies' nipples hard right now. They're a little hard. They're getting a little hard. If this was the feature event, they'd be getting a lot harder, trust me. But it's still only heat race action, so they're not as hard as what they, would be if this was the feature event. Is Mr. Glenn, what's good, Matthew? Matthew coming in, showing the love over there on Facebook, as well as Evan Stefanski, Dakota Proud, Taylor Pratt, Lori Willman, all coming in with those reactions over there on Facebook. Dakota coming in with that share as well, and a huge shout again to my boy, Mr. Pratt, coming in with the 50-star dono over there on FB. Coming in showing the love here is Philip Sexton says, let's go Hargraves, cheering on Hargraves out there on the racetrack. Unfortunately, some tough luck right there for that 71H right now. That's going to be a good battle to watch right here. Hargraves, that 2 of Cameron Stefanski for most of this heat race. They were running 1 and 2. Now they're stuck back here. They're both on the outside of a transfer spot looking in. How quickly do they try to push the subject, get around this 31 of Michael Goodwin, that number 69 of David Gambert? There is both these drivers going to try to hold on to transfer spots now that they got them late in this race. Here we go, back to green flag racing and more contact. Look out, Jackie Whaley. Cody Wright get turned around, and the caution flag will come back out. So cautions breeding cautions here at Williams Grove Speedway in heat race number 1, as it looks like the 4. I'm not sure if he just tries to move up the racetrack here. I'm not sure if he thinks he's clear of the 720 ride or not, but see him coming down the front straightaway. Looks like he's just going to move up right here. Unfortunately, Jackie just nowhere else for him to go here. Jackie's already into the wall, and really nothing he can do. And unfortunately for the 4 ride, goes up and around over his nose. A little contact there with the outside fence. The 69 ride does get some good damage there as he drives that 720 ride in there even farther. And unfortunately, some pretty solid contact out there for both of these cats turned around on the racetrack, and that will put us right back under the caution flag. So cautions, breeding cautions here at Williams Grove Speedway. It's Jacob Sexton out in front as Taylor Pratt coming in, showing the love again, says Tommy Gunn Customs, we're just better, he says. You're just better, Pratt. You're just better, brother. Coming in, showing the love here again. Coming in with another 100-star dono. Setting it off here in this one with the big love here this afternoon. Shout out there to my boy Taylor Pratt coming in, showing the big love here tonight in this one. The big D of the day so far for Mr. Pratt. The big D of the day for Mr. Pratt here in this one is Jacob Stefanski. What's good, Jake? Jake coming in, showing the love as well with that heart reaction over there on the stream. How are you, Jake? Mr. Stefanski with the heart reaction and the share. Cody Ernest, what's good, Cody? Cody coming in, showing the love with the thumbs up here on the broadcast. Johnny Ratley, Mr. Ratley, how are you, brother? Coming in with that thumbs up, as well as Anthony Karp. Mr. Karp coming in, showing the love as well with that thumbs up here on the broadcast. All the love, everyone coming in, showing the love and enjoying some great racing action here on a Friday afternoon. Nothing better to do here in this one. Is what's good, Craig? Craig Franklin says he laugh out loud, laugh out loud. He laughed out loud. Okay, Mr. Franklin, I appreciate that. Coming in, showing the love over there on YouTube, showing the love there on the YouTube stream. As here we go, we're gonna get ready to go back to green flag racing for the 69 ride. Not too long ago, he was on the outside of a transfer spot looking in, and we're gonna go to single file restarts here. So single file restarts, making it that much better for the 69 ride, that much better for the 31 of Michael Goodwin, as they are sitting now in that 3rd and 4th position and trying to race their way into the show here. As there we go, back to green flag here at Williams Grove. The 31 pushed up the racetrack, getting a little bit loose right there. Here comes that 71 of Hargraves down low. He's going to try to move around that 31 ride. Now here comes the 2 ride. Cameron Stefanski, he's in position number 6 on the racetrack. He's looking for a little bit more, but so is it Jackie Whaley. Hooked up on the outside lane. They're going to split that 31 right and down the front straightaway across the line. That's going to move Michael Goodwin now to the outside of a transfer position looking in. Jackie Whaley all over the back bumper there. That Sunrise Racing number 2 machine, as Cameron Stefanski trying to hold on to that 5th position, trying to keep himself from the hot seat out there on the speedway. Jackie going to have to try to hold off that 31 ride. The 4 of Cody Wright is right there on the outside looking in here in this one. 101 as he was in a transfer spot for most of this heat race, but now on the outside knows that he needs to jump up on top of the wheel here. He needs to gain a couple more spots to try to work himself into the show. Now making a little contact right there with the 31 right. They get slowed down the back straightaway, and unfortunately that's a little too far away from the rest of the field. A big gap now to our 6th place driver Jackie Whaley. As down across the line we will see that white flag fly. The final time around for the 101, the Sexton Peyton Body Cocky Floyd Consulting Tommy Gun Customs number 101 is Jacob Sexton. Out at quarter number 2 here in heat race number 1 will lead us down into quarter number 3 for the final time here in our first heat race of the day. Is out at quarter number 4. It's Jacob Sexton who picks up the checker flag here in our first heat race of the afternoon. Jeremy Akins there in 2nd. William Hargraves back in 3rd with David Gilbert there in position number 4. Cameron Stefanski and Jackie Whaley will punch their tickets into the show as everyone else outside the top 6 will load up their rides and join the fans in the stands here in this one. As Justin Michael Daughtry coming in showing the love. What's good, Justin? Justin setting it off here in this one, coming in with a 200-star banger here this afternoon. Justin, now the big D of the day. Shout out to Justin right there, ladies and gentlemen, in the comment section. Let's get some shout outs there to my boy Pratt and some shout outs to Justin as well, as Justin coming in showing the big love with another 200-star bombing. Justin Daughtry, the big D of the day, and my boy Justin Johnson now coming in. He's gonna get in on the action. First time star senders, Justin and Justin. The Justin's coming in big, showing the love here in this one, dropping the stars this afternoon as we are gonna activate a star party up in here. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen! A star party, let's go, baby! Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. A star party, that's what we wanted to see right there. Is Dave Morgan. What's good, Dave? Dave coming in with the like. Play for Cheats. James Beavers all coming in with the reactions as well. As James says, what's up? What's up, James? How are you, brother? Lori Willman says, let's go, number 76. Cheering on. Brandon Van Houten out there on the racetrack. And Just Fib says, nice job, William. A great job right there. Mr. Hargraves able to race his way into the show as Dave Morgan says, let's go, Jacob Sexton. Cody Ernest says, what's up, man? Hope all is well. Hopefully I'll be back on after in real life race season. Laugh a laugh, that's if iRacing unbans me. Brother, hopefully iRacing unbans you. Hopefully iRacing unbans you and puts you right back into the show, man, because we miss seeing Cody Ernest out there on the racetrack. And what the fluff is going on here in this one? Mr. Mother Fluffing Glenn with the big D of the day, achieving the star party in one single dono. Absolutely insane. Mr. Glenn coming in, setting it off, the 1,000 star bomb, the big D of the day for Mr. Glenn. That is absolutely insane. Matthew, Justin, Taylor, all of you guys, I can't thank you guys enough for showing the love and support here this evening as we'll get ready to rock and roll. We'll get ready to go to battle here for heat race number 2. It's Lon Franks, Chad Puderbo on the front row. It's a whole DWR. First 4 cars on the racetrack is Jim Revis, Dan Sivler, they're in 3rd and 4th. Scott Allen, Connor Thompson, Chris Hill, Brandon Van Houten, Speed Tour in the 25 ride. That's a hell of a name. Weston Laponte there in 10th, and unfortunately Ryan Carlisle not jumping out there on the racetrack to start this race. Is the 29 of Weston Laponte back there with the rear of the field. Speed Tour right there trying to race his way into the show as well. That's gotta be a fake name. There's no way someone's named Speed Tour, but if that is his actual real name, he needs to send me a photo of like his driver's license or some sort of a government official document. Show us that one, as you do see Chris Hill right there in front of him. Beautiful looking car out there for that 30 South Speed Shop number 5 8-try. Chris Hill looking so good out there on the racetrack. Beautiful looking Cocky Floyd Consulting grind there on the Speedway. Unfortunately right now he's on the outside of a transfer spot. Looking at is that Napa Auto Parts number 76 right now, Brandon Van Houten. He's in that 6th and final transfer spot out there on the Speedway, and they're all hunting down that 10 machine of Lon Franks. Franks looked very, very strong Wednesday night. Ran in 2nd virtually all evening long. Did lead some laps out there, but never fell farther back than position number 2 Wednesday afternoon. And here he is trying to recreate that, trying to put himself into a great starting position and trying to pick up this heat race win. Could put him into a pretty solid starting spot out there on the speedways. Unfortunately, look like Connor Thompson gonna run into some problems out there on the racetrack. Let's take a look and see what happens to this 15 machine. As a little contact here off the start. I'm not sure what happens, but he's a little bent out of shape, slides in there. Gets a little sideways. You do see that 5H ride of Chris Hill trying to avoid him. Everyone else get a little squirrely right there, trying to keep themselves out of that battle, out of that contact. And then we saw Weston Labonte also having some problems here. You can already see that 29 ride. Looks like he's going to get a little contact, gets a little bent out of shape into the inside wall, back up the racetrack into the 15 ride. They get tied together here at the back of the pack, and unfortunately, that's going to put them into a tough spot. Now we see Jim Revis. Revis running into problems. Looks like Jim may have lost connection here to the server. Jim Revis now all of a sudden outside of a transfer spot and off the racetrack, going a lap down here quickly on the speedway, and unfortunately his night may be over right there, as you guys are just going fucking insane over here in the comment section. What in the world is going on? My boy Russ Harold coming in, setting it off with the like on the stream, and Mr. Glenn coming in again with another 200-star bombing, and my boy Justin Johnson coming in with another 100 stars, and Mr. Pratt coming in with 300 instead. Dono says pick best looking car and give them an interview after the race. You know what? Kind of like that. I kind of like that, man. I kind of like that. I'm not going to lie. I like that idea, Pratt. I'm going to have to try to keep that in the back of my mind. As Evan Monaghan, what's good, Monaghan? Evan coming in with the like on the stream. Blake Doyle coming in with that thumbs up as well. And jumping into the chat says, I heart Peacemaker Gaming. We heart you, Blake Doyle. We heart you, brother. Coming in, showing the love here in this one. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Lon Franks at the front of the field. And he is a man on a mission again here tonight. He has pulled away. It's 2.4 seconds between himself and his DWR teammates here of Dan Stifler and Chad Puderbo as they rolled there in second and third on the racetrack. Brandon Van Houten sits there in fourth, and Scott Allen back in that fifth spot in the all-black number 24 ride. And Chris Hill hanging on to position number 6 on the racetrack, as right now he's got about 7/10 of a second between himself and Speed Tour. And Speed Tour back there in that 7th position. Unfortunately for Connor Thompson, he's back there in 8th. He's going to have to hope for a caution flag. And Jim Revis, Weston Labonte both off the racetrack here. Now you do see that number 15 blanking quite a bit, getting squirrely down the front straightaway. Our race leader's right there behind him. Lon Franks definitely probably feeling a little bit nervous trying to see his way around that number 15 ride without getting tied up or having an issue there himself, just trying to navigate his way around some of that lap traffic out there on the speedways. Josh Ely, what's good, Josh? Mr. Ely coming in, setting it off as well. How are you, Josh? Josh coming in with the like on the stream says, what's up, Peace? What's up, Josh? How are you, my boy? How are you, mister? How you doing tonight? Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful day. As, man, you guys, bottom of my heart, man, you guys absolutely are insane tonight, man. Taylor Pratt, Justin Johnson, Matthew Glenn, Justin, let me double check it here, Justin, Michael, Daughtry, all of you guys coming in, setting it off with the donos here this afternoon is absolutely insane, man. I can't thank you guys enough for just coming in and showing the love here this afternoon with all your donations and love and support, the comments, everything else, man. You guys are absolutely killing it. Craig Franklin over there on YouTube says hello. How are you, Craig? How are you tonight, brother? Hopefully you're having yourself a great day. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're live on all 3 channels. We're live over on Facebook, we're live over on Twitch, and we're live over on YouTube. Make sure you guys go check us out on all of our channels. Drop the likes, drop the follows, the subscriptions, everything on all those channels. Become part of the Peacemaker family, not only over on Facebook or YouTube or Twitch. Try to jump over and show the love on all those channels, on all the fronts here, and follow Peacemaker Gaming all the way through as we look to continue to build on every single channel there is. As unfortunately for Chris Hill, he's going to run into some problems here. Hill back in position number 7 now. He's on the outside of a transfer spot looking in, and this is our final lap around the Speedway. As quickly here in heat race number 2, no caution flags. Love Frank's a man on a mission, and he had that big gap, and he stayed right behind this 15 ride. Knows that it's probably a dangerous game trying to make the pass and put him a lap down. He knew that he just needed to keep himself pointed in the right direction. There he is, down across the line. We'll pick up our second heat race win of the day. Franks in position number 1 here in heat race number 2. Dan Stifler, Chad Puderpo, Brandon Van Houten, Scott Allen, and Speed Tour in the 25 ride are all going to transfer through into our A main feature event. Chris Hill, Connor Thompson, Jim Revis, Weston Labonte, and Ryan Carlisle, unfortunately, will all load up their rides and join the fans in the stands here this evening for our A main feature event. As Lori says, good job, Brandon. Cheered on Mr. Van Houten on the Speedways. Here we go. We're going to get ready for our third heat race of the day. Our third heat race about to get underway. Looks like the third and final heat race for these drivers, and then we'll get into a quick, I'm assuming we're going to do a quick little warm-up session, and then it's a 30-lap A-main feature event here this evening. You can see this racetrack already starting to take form out there. I'm not sure if they're going to do any work to it, if they're going to put some water onto the track, maybe try to roll it over and build a little bit of moisture into it to give these drivers a little bit more of a fresh track to start this feature event. But nonetheless, it's already going to be a very, very exciting race nonetheless. As here we go. It's Dale Herman Jr. who will start in the top spot here. Dale Herman Jr. in that Budweiser number 27 ride, who will start in the top spot. To his outside in the Sunrise Racing number 23, it's Jacob Stefanski who will start in position number 2. Starting in position number 3 in that 14 ride, that is Dakota Proud. And to his outside in the 45, that is the TNT Racing machine of Stephen Barrow. In that number 45 ride. I always seem to mess up his last name. I don't know how he correctly pronounces it, but nonetheless, the TNT Racing number 45 ride. Steven there in that 4th position. Starting in position at number 5 in the 50 ride, that is Charles Davis. And to his outside in the Sunrise Racing WB Creative Designs ride, that is the 22 of Evan Stefanski. Starting in position number 7 in the 3 ride, that is Jace Knight. To his outside in the 91 ride, the Simpson machine, that is Jake Deson. Deson there in position number 8 on the Speedway, with Charles Minders bringing up the rear of the field in the JP Designs ride. And I just saw the back bumper of that car, and that one gave that's a good little chuckle right there. That's actually kind of hilarious. I suck in real life too. Oh gosh. All right, Charles. All right, brother. You don't have to tell everybody. No, I'm just kidding. As here we go. Heat race number 3 about to get underway. As my boy Justin coming in again with another 50-star dono here this afternoon. Justin showing the big love here again in this one. As our third heat race of the day is underway, and look at our pole sitter getting sideways down through corner 1 and 2. Luckily enough, able to catch it, keep that car pointed the right direction. Everyone able to avoid contact. As here go Charles Minders into the door of the 91. Contact, look out, there goes the 45 right around. 45 car pointed the wrong direction. More drivers tied up back here deeper in the field. No caution flag on the racetrack. Now it's going to be who can get pointed back in the right direction quick enough. As that heavy damage here on that Minders Automotive number 66 ride, as the Down South Productions ride. Unfortunately, back now in position number 9. Steven with some heavy damage in that TNT Racing number 45 ride. And Jake Deson also tore up there as well. We'll take a look back and see what happened as a bunch of drivers kind of just all got tied up here in this one. And unfortunately, it starts up there with this 45 ride. So Steven rolling in that 3rd position. He was feeling pretty solid here. Headed down into corner number 3 until all of a sudden the rear end just kicks out and around on him. He has to get onto the binders, the 22 ride, the 91. Everyone just trying to get through there as quickly as possible and trying to keep their foot in the throttle. Unfortunately, they all kind of just run over top of that 45 ride, run over top of each other, and all of a sudden gets turned around now back outside of the transfer position by quite a ways. 7 seconds back behind Jace Knight, as Knight trying to hang on to that 6th and final transfer spot. Is out in front. It's Jacob Stefanski. Jacob out in front, leading the way here as the Tommy Gun Customs Number 23 right out in front, but Dakota Proud putting the pressure on him here. Teammates at the front of the field, a pair of Sunrise Racing White Knuckle setup shop rides here door to door out there on the Speedway. Jacob and Dakota duking it out here in heat race number 3. Charles Davis there in third with Evan Stefanski back there in position number 4 is his Sunrise Racing PJNFB. Steve's Lawn Care number 22 ride rolls there in that 4th position. Our pole sitter in the Budweiser number 27, Dale Herman Jr. back there in that 5th position. Jace Knight there in 6th. Jake the Son and Stephen Burrow battling back here in that 8th and 7th position on the racetrack. Charles Minders back there in 9th, and unfortunately for Brendan Stoner, did not jump out there on the racetrack to start this heat race. As another shout out again to my boy Justin Daughtry coming in with that 50-star dono. As Adam Oxley, Adam coming in with that like on the stream. I appreciate that, Adam, coming in with that like on the broadcast. And Mama Bear Susie Dickinson, Mama Bear setting it off as well with that heart reaction. How are you, Mama Bear? Showing the love here this afternoon. Mama Bear coming in, showing the love with that heart reaction. And Jonathan Wiley, what's good, Mr. Wiley? Jonathan coming in, dropping that thumbs up on the broadcast and says, what up, Peace? What up, Jonathan? How are you, brother? How you doing this afternoon? Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful Friday afternoon. And no, Jim comes in and says, storms here and lost power. Brother, that is awful, man. That is awful. The timing of it, the part of it, man. Why couldn't the power have just gone out for a couple minutes for you during that first heat race or the 3rd heat race here, or even during the warm-up or throughout the whole day? And of course, soon as you're doing something here on iRacing, soon as it's something important out there, you know, you're trying to race your way into the show, trying to put yourself into a transfer spot, you're sitting solidly inside the top 4, battling with amongst your teammates, and all of a sudden just dropped off the face of the earth here on iRacing. And unfortunately, those storms taking out your power and taking you out of this race, brother. That is a heartbreaker right there, but we can't wait to see it back in action Monday nights, and we can't wait to see it back here on the broadcast on Wednesday evening as well. And you know, I don't know if there's provisionals or not, or if there's an opportunity that you could potentially race in this feature event. We'll have to wait and see. I don't know if there is or not, because the way it was structured, but we'll have to wait and see if we can get that 57 ride back out there onto the racetrack. Is Jacob Stefanski out in front. Stefanski leading this race, keeping all these drivers back there at bay, but he's had to work for it here in this heat race. As Dakota Proud has been right there all over his back bumper, peeking his nose down to the inside. They continue to battle here at the front of the field. Now they got a pretty sizable gap all the way back to our 3rd place drivers. Evan Stefanski rolls there in position number 3. Charles Davis there in 4th with Dale Herman Jr. there in 5th, and then he's actually starting to catch up to our 3rd and 4th place drivers out there on the racetrack. Jace Knight, though, he's a little farther back here. That number 3 machine rolls in that 6th and final transfer spot. Now, we did have about a 7-second gap between himself and those 3 drivers that got tied up in lap number 1 here. Unfortunately, he's been running into some issues, and right there, going to lose a lot more time, and you're starting to see the 91 ride of Jake the Son starting to catch up to him here. So, Jace Knight, he was looking pretty out there on the Speedway, possibly putting himself into a transfer position here this evening, but now that's up into question here as Jake the Son is there. He has caught that 3 machine in the battle for that 6th and final transfer spot. Is not over yet. Stephen Burrow right there, as well as Barrow looking to try to jump up there and join that battle. Same with Charles Minders, as Minders right there as well, and they make contact there as Jace Knight and the 91 get together on the front straightaway. Here comes that 45 ride. The 3 ride's gonna go around. No caution flag yet on the racetrack as Jace Knight does go around, but down across the line, the white flag will be displayed for Jacob Stefanski. So one more time around here for Jacob Stefanski, and Dakota Proud is back there battling for that 6th position. More contact. Look out, they're wrecking again. Burrow, the 66, both turned around. Jake the Son also turned around and tore up even more out there on the racetrack. He's able to get a good jump though, but all of a sudden now he's disappeared off the racetrack, so I'm not sure if there was contact there between these drivers drivers or not. We'll have to take a look back and see what happened as the checker flag is going to fly. We'll take a look here as the 91 back in position. Number 7 here sees that 45. He's in that final transfer spot. He just sends it in there too deep. Unfortunately, just washes up the racetrack. Body slams that 45 into the outside wall. He comes down the racetrack and in to that 66 rider. Charles Miners. His Miners will pick up that 6th and final transfer spot here this afternoon. As Evan Stefanski, Dale Herman Jr., Charles Davis, Dakota Proud, and Jacob Stefanski will all race their way in. Chase Knight, Desan, and everyone else on the outside there, unfortunately, will not transfer through to our A-main feature event. As craziness there unfolding back for that 6th and final transfer spot here at Williams Grove Speedway. And now we'll get ready for a little warm-up session. These drivers are going to jump out on the racetrack. They're going to lay down some laps. They're going to make sure their cars are ready to rock and roll. They're going to get ready to duke it out here for the elbows up racing action of our A-main feature event. And that's going to give us an opportunity up here in the broadcast booth to get a quick little break in, to get ready for the show, to get ready for this A-main feature event and see these drivers duke it out here in this one. As Taylor Pratt says, one of my buddies lost power while winning a league race, and he beat his... Oh, whoa. The competitiveness and the dedication to the sim is unreal. Oh, brother. Taylor, that is awful, my boy. That is awful. That is absolutely awful. Oh my gosh. What was the dude's name? Wasn't there a dude that was like early on in iRacing? He had like a Jimmy Johnson like sim rig that he built, and something like that happened, or maybe something around the lines of something like that happened. What was that guy's name, man? I swear to God, if you look it up, you could probably find the records for it. I'm pretty sure he had like this really crazy like iRacing sim rig where it was like almost like a NASCAR in style that he built and everything else that you can climb in, and it's actually like a real race car and stuff. I'm pretty sure it was like a Jimmy Johnson rap on it or something like that, if I can remember correctly back to it. But I've seen his name a couple times pop out as memes and stuff like that. His name is JC Floyd. Oh, God. Don't do JC like that, Taylor. Don't do JC like that. Come on now. Come on now. Poor JC. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're going to get ready to duke it out. We're going to get ready to go to battle here at Williams Grove Speedway. 30 laps of racing action here this afternoon as each and every one of these drivers are going to get ready to go to battle and see who can put themselves up and into victory lane here this afternoon. As we're going to get a quick break in here, we're going to get ready to crank it up here and get a little anthem in with our Wednesday night street fights anthem here this afternoon, as we'll get ready to go to battle in just a few more moments. So don't go anywhere, as the racing action's about to come right at you.
Rip the night burning bright, yeah, no stop. Wheels screaming, spit that fire, dirt and gravel, they pop. Oil slick under the street lights, the shadows start to dance. Adrenaline like thunder, man, give me that last chance. Wednesday night, street fights, racing for the win. Broken steel and busted dreams, we wear it on our skin. Smell the fumes, taste the danger, hold tight to the wheel. This ain't no love song, baby, this is raw real. Crowds gather up like wolves, howling for that speed. Races blood pumping fast, gasoline is all they need. Tracks alive like a monster, the dirt flies and bends. Ruthless turns, hard turns, savage till the night ends. Wednesday night, street fights, racing for the win. Broken steel and busted dreams, we wear it on our skin. Smell the fumes, taste the danger, hold tight to the wheel. trophies exhaling battle cage. The stands are empty now, but the ghosts they remain. This dirt track story sings forever in our veins. Wednesday night street fights, racing for the win. Broken steel and busted dreams, we wear it on our skin. Smell the fumes, taste the danger, hold tight to the wheel. This ain't no love song, baby, this is raw real. This is raw real.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you came here for a show. Well, here you go. Is the Dirt Warrior Racing League Trinity Series, a main feature event about to get underway. 45 laps of racing action here from Williams Grove Speedway as these drivers going to get ready to duke it out here this afternoon. The action is about to come right at you here out there on the racetrack. Is starting on the pole in the number 101 machine. It is the Sexton Paint and Body Cocky Boy Consulting Tommy Gun Customs number 101. It's Jacob Sexton who will start in the top spot. To his outside in the JRE DWR iRacing iFlag number 10 ride, it's Lon Franks who will start there in second. Starting in the third position, our third heat race winner of the day, another Tommy Gun Customs ride. It is the Sunrise Racing White Knuckle Speed Shop's number 23 of Jacob Stefanski. To his outside in the 7th ride, it's Jeremy Aikens rounding out our top 4. Then we see that number 17 at Dan Stifler, another DWR ride, starting there in that 5th position. Dakota Brown to his outside. Then we see William Hargraves and Chad Pewterbow battling out in that 7th and 8th position. Our 5th row will be brought up by the number 50. That is Charles Davis in the 76th ride of Brandon Van Houten. Van Houten rounding out our top 10 out there on the racetrack. Then we see the number 2 of Cameron Stefanski, the 27 of Dale Herman Jr. Then we see Jackie Whaley back there, Charles Minder, Stephen Barrow, Cody Wright, Jim Revis rounding out our top 18 here this afternoon, getting ready to go to Bountiful. Beautiful looking new paint scheme there for Jim Revis back there in that beautiful SlayingDirt.com DWR iRacing iFlag ride is out in front. It's seeing that green flag fly as we end all the anticipation with our feature presentation as we are quickly green flag racing here at the beautiful Williams Grove Speedway. It's Jacob Sexton out in front who will lead us down the back straightaway into quarter number 3. Nice and easy out of quarter number 4, looking to hold Lon Franks off in leading lap number 1 in the 101 machine here this afternoon. It is Jacob Sexton out in front. Franks sits right there in position number 2 as Jacob Stefanski back there in 3rd. Dan Stifler in position number 4 and looking for more out there on the speedway. Some great racing action door to door out there on the speedway. Everyone trying to race their way to the front of the field, but this is going to be a long race. 45 laps around Williams Grove Speedway. It doesn't seem like it's a lot of laps. We run 100-lap feature events at racetracks like, Eldora and some of these other places, but it always seems like it just takes so much longer. That this racetrack just is so long, it's so big, especially when we start to lose that bottom side. You're going to start to go towards that outside wall to the middle of the racetrack. It really makes this track that much longer and that much tougher out there. And when you're really going to start getting checked up, when you're going to start slowing the pace up, backing these corners up, and trying to keep yourself from spinning out when it gets slicked off out there on the speedway, unfortunately, just makes it that much slower out there on the racetrack. And for each and every one of these drivers, they gotta have that in the back of their mind that the tires and the wear here this afternoon could play a major role, a major effect here in what their chances are of winning this race may be. So some drivers may elect to kind of hang back a little bit, save some tire, not run too hard out there on the speedway, just kind of let the race come to them and allow these other drivers up towards the front of the field or throughout the middle of the pack kind of burn their equipment up, maybe lose a couple spots early on, but just trying to keep that car pointed the right direction, not letting that rear end get kicked out, trying not to spin those tires too much to where you're burning up the tires out there on the racetrack. Is the 101 of Jacob Sexton trying to hang on to that race lead. They're starting to run into a little bit of lap traffic there, as that is the 25 ride rolling out onto the racetrack. I do believe that is Speed Tour right there. Speed Tour already, unfortunately, a lap down here, potentially going to go 2 laps down after missing the start of this race in the 25 ride back here at the rear of the field, just trying to keep that car potentially out of trouble, not wanting to go around as our race leaders are right there behind him, putting the pressure onto his back bumper. And for Speed Tour, probably the biggest shine that he's going to have here in quite a little while, that 25 ride, battling with some of the best in the business out there on the racetrack and trying to keep that car just clean and out of trouble. Here is the 101 of Jacob Sexton trying to size him up, trying to figure out a way to get around him without potentially getting tore up here himself, as our race leader does not want to have any issues here, and this is going to bunch him back up as here comes that 10 ride. Alon Franks right back to the rear bumper of the 101. Jacob Stefanski, Dan Stifler, a lot of these cats closing up that gap and catching up to our race leader. Out in front, it is Sexton. He is still right there at the front of the field. He's now trying to use the outside lane here. He's just trying to figure out a way to get around this 25. And there we go. We are going to see the caution flag, and that may have saved that 101 ride in a quick hurry right there, as he was potentially about to lose that top spot as he went to the outside groove trying to find a way around that 25. Long Franks right down to his inside, ready to try to steal that top spot away from him there. The caution flag did get thrown. Now, I'm not sure what this yellow flag was officially for out there on the speedway. Potentially some issues for the 45 ride here. Maybe a little contact as, you do see some contact there. The 66 of Charles Minders, looks like him and the 27 maybe getting together there. I'm not sure if they got together on quarter entry as well. Maybe a little help down there into quarter number 3. Here's the 27. Yeah, just sends it in there too deep. Gets into the back end, gets them sideways there on the racetrack to get tied together again. Stephen Barrow in there as well. He's going to get some damage there, and unfortunately a few tore up race cars, but a quick caution flag, some quick cleanup. Those drivers will try to get their cars repaired and jump back out there onto the racetrack as Justin Michael Daughtry coming in again. Show the love over there on Facebook as well. Shout out there again to Justin Michael Daughtry coming in with the Let's Go Racing, baby. Tommy Gun Customs for the win, he says, over there on the Facebook stream with the 80-star dono coming in, setting it off again here in this one. I appreciate that, Justin. Show the big love here this afternoon again with the 80-star dono. Shout out there to Tommy Gun Customs right now. Tommy Gun sitting first and third out there on the racetrack as Jacob Sexton in the top spot and Jacob Stefanski here, the pair of Jacobs out there on the racetrack sporting that Tommy Gun Custom paint schemes here this afternoon. As Papa Mike, Michael Dickinson, Papa Mike coming in, showing the love here with that heart reaction. How are you, Papa Mike? How you doing this afternoon? And Sean's detail, Sean coming in as well. How are you, Sean? Sean coming in, dropping that thumbs up here on the broadcast as well, as we're going to get ready to go back to battle. We're going to get ready to go back to green flag racing as Jacob Sexton, Lon Franks 1 and 2. Jacob Stefanski there in third to his outside. That is Dan Stifler. William Hargraves there in position number 5. Jeremy Aikens, Dakota Proud, Brandon Van Houten, Cameron Stefanski, Chad Puderbo, rounding out our top 10 here on the Speedway. Jackie Whaley, Charles Davis, Evan Stefanski, Jim Remis, Charles Miner, Stephen Barrow, Cody Wright, Speed Tour, and the 27 ride of Dale Herman Jr. bringing up the rear of the field here, as it looks like Dale Herman Jr. potentially down and out of this race, back down behind pit wall and back onto the hauler for the 27, as we are quickly back to green flag racing. As the green flag back into the air here, Jacob Sexton, a great restart, quickly able to slide back in front of that 10 ride along Franks. Franks trying to keep that car just pinned down low in that inside lane, trying to keep those tires as fresh as possible out there on the speedway, not wanting to burn up his equipment. And now you see that 17 ride of Dan Stifler. Stifler able to work his way around that 23 of Jacob Stefanski. Stefanski back there into position number 4, and now he'll be looking for more in that Steve's Lawn Care Sunrise Racing ride. William Hargraves still running out our top 5 as he was able to hold on to that 5th position, but a great battle here between the 7 and the 14 out there on the speedway. as the CRS number 7 ride of Jeremy Atkins to the outside, that white knuckle setup shop. Number 14 of Dakota Proud down to his inside here, battling door to door for that 6th position. They got the Napa Auto Parts number 76 of Brandon Van Houten right there behind him. The Sunrise Racing number 2 of Cameron Stefanski back there in 9th as the caution flag is going to come back out. So the caution flag back out into the air here in this one. So cautions breeding cautions is lap number 11. See that yellow flag come back out here. Looks like Charles Davis in the 50 ride going to run into some more issues out there on the Speedway. He's just trying to get that car up to speed, trying to get that thing rocking and rolling again on the racetrack. It looks like Charles Minder's also going to run into some problems here. We may have to, yeah, there you go. He pulls it down to the inside here, tries to get off the racetrack. Unfortunately, not quite off the Speedway there. Stuff there on the racetrack, and then we see the 66 also running into some more problems here as he's trying to get that car rolling up there on the outside groove, and I'm not sure if he just gets some contact. Yeah, 25 just washes up the racetrack right there. Unfortunately, not aware that there's a car to his outside, and that sometimes if you're pushing up, you gotta use those brake pedals, and unfortunately, not letting out of the throttle, not letting off here at all, and just trying to slide in behind that 66. Unfortunately, misjudges it, drives right into that left rear quarter panel of the 66 ride, gets him sideways, gets him turned around, and that's where we see that yellow flag come out here in our second caution flag of the day. And already twice the 66 ride tied up in a couple issues out there, none of his own, just kind of wrong place, wrong time, getting taken out there, and unfortunately some pretty solid damage onto his race car as we'll get them all stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to green flag racing as Lon Franks out in front. Franks leading this race is the DWR ride. Not sure if he's actually scored as our race leader. We'll have to wait and see who's got control here of this race, as at the time of the yellow flag, it was anybody's battle out there as he was down low trying to work his way around Jacob Sexton, and I'm not sure, it looks like it's showing Sexton back in position number 2, but as we get rolling back to green flag here as Taylor Pratt says, boot him, boot him! Yeah, two caution flags. I do believe Charles Minders is off the racetrack for, not sure, he didn't really start either of those, but I'm not sure if he just took his car off the racetrack, getting tied up in 2 of them. We do see Charles Davis rolling back out there. Dale Herman Jr., he is down and out of this race, but I do believe Charles has taken his car off the racetrack as well. Tough break there for the 66 ride. Minders, usually a lot of fun, really good out there on the racetrack, and usually pretty clean out there. Unfortunately, just getting tied up, and as I said, really 2 wrecks, none of his own fault, just kind of wrong place, wrong time, got ran into from behind and turned around on the first one, and then the second one right there again, just car down low, washes up the racetrack into him and takes him out right there. So a tough break for the 66. We are back to green flag racing, and yes, it was Lon Frank scored as our race leader as he was able to just edge out in front over that 101 of Jacob Sexton before that caution flag was thrown, and now we're 3 wide back here behind our second place driver as Jacob Stefanski on the outside lane. The grumpy graphics DWR 17 of Dan Stifler down the middle, and now a big run down the front straightaways. The 23 will be able to clear not only that 17 but the 71 ride of William Hargraves. Hargraves right there as well, trying to get rocking and rolling down low. We've seen William pick up some big wins here at Williams Grove Speedway. We'll see if he's got something left in the tank here, see if he can hit his marks and get some of that magic back from where we saw him there not too long ago, and see if he can race his way back up into victory lane. It's what's good, Jeffrey coming in, show the love. Jeff coming in says, yo, kick the tires and light the fires, baby. Yes, Sirski, you know it. Mick Jeffrey coming in, show the love here this afternoon as Lon Franks out in front, leading this race. Jacob Sexton back there in position number 2, trying to hold on to position number 2 as he's got Stefanski and Hargraves all over his back bumper. Here comes Dan Stifler into that fight as well as our top 5. You can virtually throw a blanket over them. Jeremy Atkins, Dakota Proud, Brandon Van Houten, Jackie Whaley, and Cameron Stefanski rounding out our top 10. The 22 of Evan Stefanski there at 11. Chad Puterbo in that beautiful Dirt Warrior Racing number 20 ride rolls there in position number 12. The iRacing iFlag machine there in that 12th spot as Jim Revis right there behind him. That beautiful DWR Grumpy Graphics Dirt Panda number 57 machine rolls there in 13. Steve been borrowed there in the 14th spot with Cody Wright back in the 15th position. Then we see Speed Tour at least a lap down, still out there on the racetrack, currently sits in that free pass position in that 16th spot, now up into the outside fence. Heavy right front damage here for that 25 ride as he clobbers that outside wall, allowing the 50 rider Charles Davis to get around him. Charles now into that free pass spot on the Speedway as Speed Tour still in the outside fence, and now that car is going to get absolutely destroyed. Oh, brother, I think he may be done for after that one. And he just cleaned himself out now. Hopefully he takes himself off the racetrack here and doesn't cause a caution flag. And if he does, definitely eat him in, delete him. Probably eat him in, delete him right now anyways. There's the caution flag. Yeah, unfortunately, admin crew not seeing that one, and unfortunately couldn't get that car off the racetrack quick enough. Yeah, get him out of here. Get him out of here. Don't even let him sit down the pits. Don't even let him get that thing fixed up. Get him out. Get him out. Try that Ross Chastain. Aggressively trying that Ross Chastain. I don't know if he was trying the Ross Chastain right there or the Dale Earnhardt Sr. move out there as a tore up right front. That car definitely heavily damaged after already eating the outside fence in corner 3 and 4, and then just straight lines it into that wall. And unfortunately, definitely not what Speed Tour, a fake name obviously, wanted to see here this afternoon as Speed Tour gets up into the outside wall. Heavy damage there, upside down, and then just sits there and doesn't quickly exit that car or gets it off the racetrack there. And unfortunately, that's just going to bring out a caution flag and make us sit here and watch these drivers do a couple laps under yellow flag here. And I mean, luckily enough, it does give the 50 rider Charles Davis a free pass the wave around here for that 50 machine to get him back onto the lead lap. So a good break right there for Charles, as he's probably going to be the only driver happy about seeing that yellow flag come out. Lon Franks probably did not want to see that, as that's going to give him all back here all over him, as Adam Oxley says, wheel disconnected. Yeah, wheel definitely disconnected. 100%, because we don't know what that looks like. We don't know what that looks like. We haven't heard that excuse before. You know what Pink Floyd and Dale Earnhardt got in common? Oh, brother. Well, you're about to drop it on us no matter what. You're about to drop it on us, Taylor Pratt. You're about to... You say what you gotta say, brother, okay? Where's the punchline? What is it? How bad is it? How bad is it? Come on now. As Amy Stefanski says, let's go Stefanski boys over there on YouTube. Cheered them all on here this evening. As a lot of great racing action as Joe Robin also coming in. I didn't see that before. Joe says, how many cars we got out there tonight watching from work this time? Pretty solid amount. We started with about 20 drivers here. We could have probably had a few more jump out there, but I think they left before we got into the action, as I think we were planning on potentially taking 30 drivers into the 8 main feature event, but not sure on how they scored that. Nonetheless, Lon Franks out in front of the field here. He's going to get ready to go to battle, and hoping to see this one go a little bit more clean and green here for the next little while as we inch closer and closer to our halfway marker, as Taylor says their last big hit was the wall. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? Pink Floyd and Dale Earnhardt, they definitely have that in common. Their last big hit was the wall. That is true. That is true. That is very dark humor, but it is very, very true, unfortunately. But here we go. Back to battle here at Williams Grove Speedway. As Lon Franks out in front, leading the way. Jacob Sexton right there in position number 2. Now you see Stefanski down low. Hargraves up on the outside lane. They battle door to door here for position number 3 on the Speedway. It's Jeremy Akins now inside the top 5. The 76 of Brandon Houghton there in that 6th position now is Dan Stifler. Unfortunately, Stifler here sliding backwards a little bit in his Dirt Warrior Racing Grumpy Graphics number 17 run, as he's now back into position number 7, potentially going to slide back into 8th as the 14 rider Dakota Proud rolls around his outside. Now here comes that 304 Roots Grumpy's Garage, number 720 ride of Jackie Whaley. Whaley there in 9th, and here comes another DWR machine. Is down low. You see that 2 ride of Cameron Stefanski sent it in there. Some great battling back here for that 10th position as Jim Ravis trying to hang on to it. There is Dirt Panda, iRacing iFlang, DWR ride right there in the middle of a Stefanski sandwich as he's got the 2 of Cameron Stefanski, the 22 of Evan Stefanski all over him here, trying to steal that 10th position away from him. Some great racing back here throughout the middle portion of this field. The 45 ride, Stephen Barlow right there, as well as Chad Puderbo. Cody right there, that TNT Racing 5.6 graphics, dirt car number 4 ride in that 15th position. Charles Davis back there in 16th, and the back of our field here this afternoon. Some great racing action from the front of the pack down to the back of the pack here this afternoon, man. These guys putting on a hell of a show for us. A lot of battling door to door out there on the Speedway. A couple caution flags early on, but now some good green flag laps being laid down by all these drivers. Some very good, competitive, and very respectful drivers out there on the Speedway looking to just duke it out here late in this race and seeing if their strategies, their tires, their commitment to their lane is going to work this afternoon, or if they're going to have to start to slide around, maybe try to use a little bit more tire strategy for later in this race to try to help them closer to the front of the field and to finish off this 3rd race of our Trinity Series here this afternoon. And for this week is out in front, it's Lon Franks looking to pick up the checker flag. Unfortunately could not hold off T-Jack. Tyler Jackson Wednesday night had to settle for 2nd place there Wednesday afternoon. Tonight does not want to have that same scenario. He wants to be the driver up in victory lane, bringing that JRE iRacing iFlying DWR ride back into victory lane here this afternoon as Jacob Sexton there in 2nd. Jacob Stefanski still trying to hold on to that 3rd spot as he's finally able to clear that 71H of William Hargraves down the back straightaway and into quarter number 3. Hargraves sells in there to 4th. Now going to try to slide down the racetrack and underneath that 23 machine as, oh baby, almost 3 wide back here. Jeremy Aikens has got to be very, very careful as he's got Brandon Van Houten and Dakota Proud right there on his back bumper, and I'm sure Dan Stempler would love to try to jump back up inside the top 5. It's some great racing action here with the Dirt Warrior Racing League. We are over halfway through this race, and ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't already done us a favor, make sure you do it right now for us. If you guys are enjoying the racing action, if you guys are enjoying the show, hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button. Become part of the Peacemaker family here today as we're going to jump into a quick Peacemaker Gaming Crank It Up. So crank up that volume. Cheer on your favorite drivers as we crank it up here at Williams Grove Speedway in the Dirt Warrior Racing League Trinity Series. Alrighty, as the Peacemaker Gaming Crank It Up caution flag is going to fly here at the Crank It Up curse will continue this afternoon as Cody Wright. Cody going to run into some problems here in the number 4 ride, the TNT Racing Machine. Deeper in the field here, he was rolling back in about the 15th position on the racetrack, and he's just going to tag that outside fence. Happy contact up into the outside wall, that TNT Racing run. Unfortunately, the gap here, the track entry point there down the back straightaway, it kind of juts out a little bit right there, and unfortunately for the 4 ride, he finds out the hard way right there how much he does jut out, and unfortunately he takes it heavy right front damage. Car pointed the wrong direction. There goes that 50 ride, and Charles Davis around him, and that's where that caution flag will fly. So a tough break right there for Cody Wright as we'll get them all stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to green flag racing here in this one. The green flag about to come back out in just a few more moments here as Lon Franks out in front, continuing to lead the way. Jacob Sexton, Jacob Stefanski, second and third out there on the racetrack, ready to go to battle, ready to duke it out here in this one. As man, oh man, this is going to be a lot of fun. Alrighty, is slow down the front straightaway into corner number 1 here. Each and every one of these drivers trying to get ready to rock and roll as the nut up or shut up Tommy Gunn Customs number 23 ride of Jacob Stefanski going to take us back to the green flag here in this race. He's going to get ready to launch from that third position down on the inside. Now he's going to be able to try to get a little bit of a jump here, try to go with that 10 right along Franks and see if he can try to slide into that second spot, maybe steal that second position away from the 101 of Jacob Sexton, but Sexton going to be doing his best to try to keep himself right there as there we go. There's the good jump out of the 10 ride. Unfortunately, the 23 could not take advantage of it, was not really on the throttle at the right time, and unfortunately could not jump down low as here we go back to our Peacemaker Gaming crank it up here this afternoon. It's contact here between the Tommy Gunn Custom rides out there on the Speedway, and some great battling out there on the racetrack. Door-to-door action, elbows up racing, and a bit of a slide job right there out of the 23 as we'll crank it up here on Peacemaker Gaming. Alrighty, as a late race caution flag is going to fly, and here at Williams Grove Speedway. That will bring a close to our Peacemaker Gaming crank it up here this afternoon as we'll take a quick look back, see what brings this yellow flag back out. Does it look like Jackie Whaley in the 720 ride, the 304 Roots machine, running into some problems here. Looks like him and maybe the 76 of Brandon Van Houten going to get together right there, get him a little tied up, and then here comes that 2 right in there. Unfortunately, a big hit of steam, they get tied together. Around goes Jackie Whaley. Unfortunate contact there for Evan Stefanski. He gets a good piece of him there as well, and that's where we see that caution flag be displayed here once again this afternoon. So we will get them stacked up, we will get them racked up, we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing here at Williams Grove Speedway. A late race restart here, only 8 laps left to go. We inch closer and closer to the checker flag. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, who do you want to see pick up the dub? Who do you want to see in victory lane here this afternoon? Jump into the comment section, let us know right now. Who do you want to see get the dub here this evening? As out in front, leading the way, it is the number 10 rider, Lon Franks. Franks continue to show these drivers how to get it done with William Hargraves back there in second. Jacob Stefanski rolls there in third with Dakota Proud in fourth. Jacob Sexton there in fifth. As here comes Jeremy Akins as well back in that 6th position. Jim Revis there in 7th from the back of the pack here after losing power in his heat race. Jim rolls there in that 7th spot on the speedway. The 2 of Cameron Stefanski right behind him. Evan Stefanski there as well as the 45 of Stephen Barrow back there bringing up the rear of our top 10. Chad Puderbo, Charles Davis, Jackie Whaley, Brandon Van Houten. Our top 14 is Dan Stifler, Cody Wright, Speed Tour, Charles Minders, Dale Herman Jr., Michael Goodwin, Braden Stoner, Morgan Dowdy, Jake Deson, Weston Labonte, David DeBert, Chris Hill, Connor Thompson, Jace Knight, Scott Allen, and Tyler Robinson, all not out there on the racetrack. As down out of corner number 4, we'll see that green flag fly here once again as Lon Franks out in front looking to try to run away with it, but here comes Hargraves. Hargraves down low. Now we've seen this time and time again here at a racetrack like Williams Grove Speedway. This 71 ride just comes to life late in the race and can somehow or another just keep on holding that inside lane in cruise control right around everybody else, and we get a new race leader. Is the Joyride Designs, Dirt Panda, Dirt Warrior Racing Teams, Mellum Electric, Bibbs Liquor. Number 71, Asia William Hargraves now leads the way. Lon Franks trying to battle still to his outside, looking to stay door to door for that top spot. Is Jacob Stefanski trying to hold on to position number 3 here, but he's got to go to Proud down to his inside. They're door to door. Back there for that 3rd spot is Jacob Sexton, back in position number 5 on the racetrack. Some great battling out there on the speedway as Taylor Pratt says, you know how to make holy water? I mean, I suppose you just boil the hell out of it. I'm assuming that's where that joke is going, is you just boil the hell out of it, eh, Pratt? I'm assuming that's where it was headed. It's out in front. Hargraves leading the way is down into corner number 1. Nice and easy down through the middle here. The big, long, sweeping corners here at Williams Grove Speedway is the 10 right. Lon Franks works down to his inside. So a little bit of a crossover out there on the racetrack. We saw the 71 for the longest time using that inside groove to get him out in front, but now he goes up the racetrack and down low. Lon Franks looking to take that race lead back away. So Franks down across the line will jump back out in front, moving Hargraves back to second. A great battle here at the front of the field is Dakota Proud trying to make this a 3-horse race at the front of the pack. As he rolls there in position number 3, it's Jacob Stefanski back and forth, and Jacob Sexton rounding out our top 5. It's Cameron Stefanski, the 2 ride, racing his way now into the 6th position with Jim Revis back there in 7th. Evan Stefanski, Jeremy Ankins, and Stephen Barrow now rounding out our top 10 on the racetrack. But Lon Franks out in front, leading this one late in this race. But right there on his back bumper is William Hargraves. Did Hargraves maybe make the move a little too soon? Does he still have something left in the tank? Can he find his way back around that Dirt Warrior Racing number 10 ride of Lon Franks here this afternoon? Down the front straightaway, Franks able to get a great run down through 3 and 4. Opens up a little bit more of a gap here, gives himself a little bit more breathing room between himself and that 71. It's Hargraves on the final lap here of the afternoon. Down the back straightaway, he's going to get one more shot here. As down into corner number 3. Nice and easy out of corner number 4 and picking up the checkered flag here this afternoon in the DWRL. It's the iRacing iFlag number 10 ride of Lon Franks. Franks able to get it done and pick up the checkered flag here from Williams Grove Speedway. Lon Franks with the win. It's Hargraves back there in second, and then we see Dakota Proud rounding out our top 3. A pair of Jacobs rounding up the top 5 is Stefanski and Sexton. They're in 4th and 5th, but Lon Franks able to hold off the hard charge there from William Hargraves and pull himself this time up and into victory lane as the DWR number 10 machine of Lon Franks able to find his way back into victory lane here at Williams Grove Speedway. Hargraves settles in for second this time, and Dakota Proud with a great run. They're in position number 3 here this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up for all of our drivers here this afternoon, putting on a heck of a show, a heck of a race for us here in this one, as Franks able to get the dub, able to pull himself up into victory lane. We'll get ready to pull all 3 up and into the broadcast booth here this afternoon. As man, oh man, oh man, what a run, what a battle there late in this one. Drivers trying to find their way to the front of the field. Some big moves being made there by that number 71 ride, and Brad says, got me, I did get you. What league is this, Jeremy Vaughn? This is the Dirt Warrior Racing League, brother. They're doing a Trinity series, so they're racing virtually hosted races every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday nights. They're open races to everybody. If you can race your way into the show, then you get to race. And if you are a nice, respectful driver and they know you and everything else, you can even work yourself into some provisionals and have yourself locked into those shows as well. But for right now, it is a lot of race your way in for a lot of these drivers. And man, oh man, oh man, it has been a lot of fun. Some great racing action, some door-to-door out there on the speedway. And for that 10 ride of Lon Franks, some redemption from Wednesday night after not being able to hold off Tyler Jackson and seeing T-Jack pick up the dump there Wednesday afternoon. He's able to get his payback and find his way into victory lane this afternoon as we'll pull him up into the broadcast booth. Hey, Lon, it's Aaron up here at the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Did you get a copy?
I got you, buddy.
Lon, brother, redemption here tonight for you after giving up the win Wednesday night to T-Jack. You were not going to be denied here this evening, even with that hard charge from William Hargraves late in this one, able to try to get down low underneath of you, steal that lead away. You were able to quickly cross him over, get back down low, and take that bottom lane from him and use it to drive back out in front. Not enough time for him to strike back as you're able to just keep that car perfect there in those closing laps and pull yourself up here into the Williams Grove Speedway victory lane. Man, take us back through this race. What's going through your mind right now after that fight for the win and able to finally pull yourself up here into victory lane?
Yeah, I was trying to save tires, but the fastest way seemed to be the top. I know that it really burns him up. And then I saw him coming on the bottom. And when he was coming a while back, I tried it, and it didn't work for me. So I went back to the top, and he kept coming. Then when he was real close, I tried again before he got there. And it was nothing for me. So I just figured this is my fate. I'm just going to run the top. And then I don't know, I just started tiptoeing a little extra behind him, and then he slipped up just enough, and I had obviously just enough left. I pulled it off, but man, that was, yeah, my hands are a little sore from gripping the wheel on that one. That was good stuff.
Absolutely some good, hard racing there at the front of the field. Obviously, early on, we see you battling hard out there, trying to save tires, but still trying to be towards the front of the field. As you know, you had Jacob Stefanski, Jacob Sexton, all right there, putting on a great show at the front of the pack here. And all of a sudden, throughout that final couple runs, you start to see Hargraves and Dakota Proud work their way inside to the top 5, and then into the top 3. And they're right there hassling it for this win, but holding them all off, keeping them all back there at bay, and even beating both the Jacobs here this afternoon. Stefanski and Sexton both looked very, very fast out there on the racetrack. Man, it's got to feel pretty special being able to finally find yourself back into the DWR Racing League's victory lane here in a broadcast, as seems like you've been a little snake bitten so far in our first few races back.
Yeah, I've been the bridesmaid a few times, so it feels good to finally be up on top of the box. Finally, I feel I always run decent, but sometimes just stuff happens. But Yeah, we did it a little different tonight just to change it up. Now that we're doing 3 times a week, so we went with the heats and no consies, so nobody was safe after qualifying. Everybody got a valid chance to race in. Um, it was good stuff. So I mean, all in all, especially being on a Friday for one in Williams Grove, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. Some good racing, some great battles out there, man. We saw a lot of 2 wide, 3 wide. Everyone just trying to slide their way up here to the front of the field, but no one was going to do it better here tonight than yourself as you pull your number 10 DWR machine up here into victory lane. Lon, who would you like to thank for such a great run and strong performance out there on the racetrack?
I got to give a shout out to my youngest daughter, Meadow. She's watching. My wife, Tiff, she's watching with her. Jim Revis for all the marketing, flyers, posting on all the websites. My partner in crime here, trying to make this all work, Jackie Whaley. Grumpy Graphics, BladeNote.com, iRacing, iFlag, Martin Sports, BCR Sim Products, 304 Roots, J&D Trucking, Junk Fabrication, JRE, my whole team, DWR, Uver Broadcasting, all the fans, followers, and friends, and I appreciate it.
Absolutely, brother. Well, hell of a run, hell of a drive here this afternoon. We can't wait to see you guys back in action next Wednesday for the Wednesday night street fights and see if you can, maybe beat T-Jack there next Wednesday and keep this kind of momentum, this streak going for yourself. Obviously, some great runs, some great finishes, and maybe another opportunity for you to jump up here into the broadcast booth.
Yeah, we're gonna give her hell. I mean, I raced 20th place dudes, just like I raced the leader. So it was just we'll race, and wherever we end up, we end up.
Absolutely, brother. Well, we look forward to seeing you back out there on the racetrack and duking it out there on the Speedway lawn. Congrats on the win, and don't party too hard down there in victory lane.
Oh no, I'm too old for that. Thanks, Aaron. You have a good one, buddy.
You too, brother. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our race winner, Lon Franks, as Franks picks up the dub here in this one. And just Viv says you were climbing up there pretty darn good tonight. You just needed a couple more laps. Yeah, for Mr. Hargraves right there, that's all he needed, man. Maybe a couple laps shorter as he took that race lead. Maybe made the move a little too soon, but got that open door, had to take it, and unfortunately just couldn't hold Lon Franks back off as he was able to find his way into victory lane as Tiffany Ingram says, hell yeah, babe. Good job. Cheered on Lon Franks here this afternoon as Lon with a big dub here this afternoon, pulling himself up and in to the victory lane here at Williams Grove Speedway as we'll get ready now to jump down pit side and see if we can get a word in here with our second place finisher, William Hargraves. Hargraves comes home in position number 2. Let's get him up here into the broadcast booth. Hey, Will, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth to get a copy.
Hey, Aaron, I got you.
Well, man, what a run. A solid drive here for you, man. It seemed like early on you were just kind of playing that game we've seen so many times out of you here at Williams Grove. Just kind of hanging back, sitting pretty there, just trying to keep that car pointing the right direction, not kicking that rear end out or spinning those tires down the inside lane. And that's exactly where you use it to race your way up here late in the race, making the moves around the two Jacobs there, and Jacob Stefanski and Sexton, and battle your way up and around Lon Franks here late in this race, looking bound to potentially steal this win and pull yourself up into victory lane. But Lon all of a sudden finds another gear, gets back down underneath of you and steals this race lead back away. And by the time you are kind of figuring back out that inside lane, it was already too late. He was down there in victory lane as he had to settle in for second place here this afternoon, man. Take us back through this race. What's going through your mind right there after that battle for the race win?
Yeah, man, for sure. I gotta say congrats to Lon on the win there, man. He drove the wheels off that thing, and it was a long race. Like you said, I was kind of riding and trying to pass cars, but it was really hard to pass working the bottom. You could get in the bottom and you could get a good run, but as soon as you went to leave the exit of the turn, that high side momentum kicked in, and without being able to use the whole racetrack to slide up off the exit of the corner there, just kind of killed your speed. And I could kind of hang in there and whatever with them on the bottom there, and then I just kind of gave it up for a while because it just, like I said, that I couldn't get the momentum I needed off the exit with the Jacobs there on my outside, and so I just started kind of riding, and waiting and hoping people would make mistakes, and nobody was really making a mistake. And cautions kind of played out and helped us out there, and got down there in that last little bit of run there with 5 or 6 to go, or whatever it was there, and the opportunity presented itself, and I was riding the bottom early in the race, so I kind of knew how it worked, and it felt like it kept coming back in, and I was able to sneak by Lon there just that one lap, and got the lead, and all it takes is that little bit of slip up. I hit the slick just too much there, and allowed him to get right back along the inside of me, and at that time it was too late. I couldn't close the door. He was already there, and had to let him go. So overall, though, it's a heck of a race, and it was a good night overall. I definitely want to give Philip Sexton thanks for. I've been kind of struggling since I got a new wheel and stuff, and he's kind of reached out and trying to help me get it dialed in a little better. It just definitely feels better now. I maybe got a little bit more tweaking to do on it, but man, I tell you, it's been a real struggle.
Yeah, obviously we've seen you struggling in that 71 ride, and it felt so good to see you right back into the mix, into the battle here again tonight, looking for that win and being in position to potentially steal it away from Lon Franks this afternoon. But getting that wheel figured out, getting this car back under your feet here and rolling, put in the right direction is going to feel like a huge weight lifted off your shoulder after it seems like a few races here now, a couple weeks really struggling with those wheel settings and trying to get this 71 ride back up and into victory lane.
For sure, like I said, I mean, sometimes that's part of iRacing. iRacing's constantly changing their game and changing features and stuff like that. And I don't get a chance to get on and race a lot, and just kind of busy, and so it makes it even tougher. And you can put yourself out to lunch real quick in this, but no, like I said, I mean, can't give up. It's frustrating at times, and it makes you want to give up, but eventually things will work themselves out and start turning back around. I've been in this position before. I know what it's like. It's not fun, and but you just keep pushing through, and eventually things will start working out.
Absolutely. Well, hopefully this is the turnaround marker here tonight for you, Will, and seeing you back up here in the broadcast booth more and more throughout these races and potentially back up into victory lane here over the next couple of weeks as a great run, a great drive, a solid second place finish, the cap off the evening here at Williams Grove Speedway for yourself. Will, who'd you like to thank for such a great run and strong performance out there on the racetrack?
Yeah, I'd like to thank everybody that participated tonight, and all the good, clean racing. A lot of fun racing with the Jacobs and Dakota and Lon and everybody up there up front. It was quite a bit of fun. I got to thank all the DWR guys for putting this on for us guys to race. And since joining an alliance with them, it's been a lot of fun, beating and banging ideas with them and whatnot, and having somebody to talk to with all the Panda guys not really being on a whole lot. So huge shout out to them guys for everything they've done and welcoming me in and helping me out as well. And big thanks to Lon and Jim and Jackie, I think kind of the main people that putting this on and letting us come out and turn some laps and have some fun. Um, I gotta thank you for doing the broadcast, Vibs Liquor for always supporting us Dirt Pandas, MelmElectricMotorsales.com, and just anybody that watches and supports the broadcast.
Absolutely, brother. Well, Will, a great run, a great drive here tonight, man. Hopefully more performances like this in the future for you, and right back up here into the broadcast booth next Wednesday afternoon. Congrats on that second place finish, and as I said, hopefully we see you back up here in the booth next week, and for 2 of the 3 races that we broadcast here for the Trinity Series.
Yeah, for sure, man. It won't be for a lack of trying, that's for sure. But we ain't gonna give up. We'll get it figured out here. So.
Absolutely, brother. Well, we look forward to it and seeing you back out there on the racetrack. Will, congrats on the run, and enjoy the rest of your afternoon.
Yeah, man. Nice talking to you again, Aaron. Have a good
Absolutely.
evening.
Yeah, absolutely. You as well, brother.
Thank
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up for William Hargraves as Will comes home in position number 2 here this afternoon. As Hargraves comes there in second, we'll get ready to pull in now our third place finisher, Dakota Proud. As Proud rounds out the top 3 here, let's pull him up into the broadcast booth. Hey Dakota, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker broadcasting booth. You get a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Dakota, man, a solid run, a great race here for you, man. As late in this one, you just really came to life, man. That car all of a sudden just found another gear. You're able to battle your way around a couple fast cats there, in through the top 5, and then right up here into that third position and trying to hunt down Lon Franks and Hargraves there as they were battling for the race lead, trying to make that a 3-car fight. Unfortunately, just kind of ran out of time before he could really catch up to them and start to put that pressure onto their back bumper.
I thought I was going to be able to at least catch up to him or throw my hat in the ring for that, but I'm happy with what happened. That last restart really helped me out. I knew sticking to the bottom was going to be keen for the first lap or two, and really that bottom kind of just stayed in the whole time or the rest of the race. So it just worked out for me, being in the right space, right spot at the right time.
Absolutely.
Other than that,
go ahead.
Yep, good. I was just going to say survival was key. I know we had a bunch of, well, not a bunch, a couple cautions. Williams Grove's always like that. But being in the right spot at the right time always pays off.
Yeah, and it certainly does. And as he said, you know, a few caution flags, making this race even longer than what it actually already was going to be. 45 laps here around Williams Grove. It is not like it's 45 laps at I-55 or something like that, where it seems like it's done and over with in, you know, 15, 20 minutes. It takes a while to get around this racetrack, especially when things start to slick off. You're slipping and sliding out there on the racetrack. You're 2-3 wide out there. You know, it is a workout here at Williams Grove. Doesn't matter how many laps are really on the board, it takes a lot out of you. And late in this race, being able to find that extra gear, that extra notch, not only out of the race car but out of yourself as well, to race your way up and around a couple of those hard-nosed competitors and putting yourself up here into the broadcast booth is gonna feel pretty good. You gotta be pretty happy with the outcome, even though you weren't able to battle for the race win, to be able to, you know, keep a lot of these good drivers back there behind you. When you look at the Stefanskis and Jacob Saxton and Jim Ravis and so many other fast cats back there deeper in the field.
Yeah, man, I've been feeling pretty good recently. I just finished up a couple leagues, so hopefully I have some more time to join more of these races. But yeah, I've been feeling pretty good recently, so definitely looking forward to the future. See what we can do.
Absolutely. We look forward to seeing you in action here. Hopefully more as well. And seeing that 14 ride putting on some good shows, some good battles out there on the racetrack, and maybe some more trips up here into the broadcast booth. As Dakota, a solid third place run here to cap off tonight's festivities. Man, who would you like to thank for such a great run and great drive out there on the racetrack?
Well, first, I'd like to thank you for putting it on. Big thanks. I love watching it afterwards. Thanks to the DWRL guys for hosting and putting it on for us. I'd like to thank my guys over at Sunrise Racing, White Knuckle Setup Shop, Wade Burst Creative Designs, Levi's Custom Detailing, Forever Tana Boutique, Frosty Speed Shop, and my wife for letting me do this.
Absolutely, brother. Well, Dakota, great run, great race. We hope to see you out there on the racetrack next Wednesday and Friday when I'll be up here in the broadcast booth, and hopefully see you right back up here in the booth as well at the end of the night.
That's all I can hope for.
Absolutely, brother. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, and congrats again on the third place finish.
Thanks, man. You too.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our third place driver here this afternoon. It is Dakota Proud able to come home in position number 3 here this afternoon. A huge shout out there to the 14 ride. A solid performance, a solid drive here for him, and a solid drive out of every one of our competitors here this afternoon. A lot of fun, a lot of back and forth, a lot of hard-nosed battling and elbows up racing, lap after lap after lap out there on the Speedway. And these drivers put on a heck of a show for us here at Williams Grove Speedway. As that was a lot of fun, man. And unfortunately, though, that's going to do it for us here this afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we can't thank you guys enough for tuning in, showing the love here throughout the afternoon. And we'll catch you guys back here tomorrow night as we go back to the pavement racing, as we'll be back in action with our Saturday night, the Premium Stock Car Racing League. Some great racing there in that series. A lot of fun there, and hopefully we can get you guys to tune in there as well. Not only just coming in to say hello or to watch the racing action, but just coming in to pump in and show the support here for myself up here in the booth and for the live streams. Every single time you guys tune in to one of these live broadcasts and watch for a couple minutes, it really helps the stream out. And obviously, every single like, comment, share, even if you're just hopping in for a couple minutes, saying hello and asking how our day was or telling me how your day was, helps really drive engagement, helps drive the stream out to more and more people. And we appreciate you guys always showing up and showing the love here on the channel. And hopefully we can continue to keep that just growing and growing and growing week after week after week. And hopefully we see you guys all back in here tomorrow night for some more great racing action on Peacemaker Gaming. But thank y'all for watching here this evening, and we'll catch you guys back here in the next one. Peace and love, ladies and gentlemen, from Williams Grove Speedway and the Dirt Warrior Racing League. As I hope you guys have yourselves a wonderful rest of your afternoon. As thank y'all for watching, thank y'all for tuning in. Peace and love, baby. Peace and love, ladies and gentlemen.
Roaring engines rip the night, burning bright, yeah, no stop. Wheels screaming, spit that fire, dirt and gravel, they pop. Oil slick under the street lights, the shadows start to dance. Adrenaline like thunder, man, give me that last chance. Wednesday night, street fights, racing for the win. Broken steel and busted dreams, we wear it on our skin. Smell the fumes, taste the danger, hold tight to the wheel. This ain't no love song, baby, this is raw real. Crowds gather up like wolves, howling for that speed. Races blood pumping fast, gasoline is all they need. Tracks alive like a monster, the dirt flies and bends. Ruthless turns, hard turns, savage till the night ends. Wednesday night, street fights, racing for the win. Broken steel and busted dreams, we wear it on our skin. Smell the fumes, taste the danger, hold tight to the wheel. This ain't no love song, baby, this is raw real. Underneath the moonlight, crowds roar so loud. Pride's in the throttle, not in faces of a crowd. A brotherhood of metal, sweat, gears that grind. Cross that line or get left behind. Cold air cuts the dawn, still our fires rage. Holding bruises like trophies, exhaling battle cage. The stands are empty now, but the ghosts they remain. This dirt track story sings forever in our veins. Wednesday night, street fights, racing for the win. light burning bright, yeah, no stop. Wheels screaming, spit that fire, dirt and gravel, they pop. Oil slick under the street lights, the shadows start to dance. Adrenaline like thunder, man, give me that last chance. Wednesday night, street fights, racing for the win. Broken steel and busted dreams, we wear it on our skin. Smell the fumes, taste the danger, hold tight to the wheel. This ain't no love song, baby, this is raw real. Crowds gather up like wolves, howling for that speed. Races blood pumping fast, gasoline is all they need.